All right, that was really bad. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, it's gonna be a quick, simple video. We are just gonna take a look at the two best-selling optics at the range here. Of course, we are gonna be using everybody's favorite, the Other. I have the Range Other, and of course, I brought one of mine, just because the optics are completely different. All right, so let's take a look at what we're gonna be looking at, what we're gonna be comparing. All right, first up is, of course, everybody's favorite. It is the reflex sight. So it is just a piece of glass with a holographic reticle inside. It has adjustable illumination, so on and so forth. It does have an auto off after a couple of hours. And we're just going to be shooting today at varying distances, trying out different optics, probably from like 5 yards all the way back to 25 yards. The other optic we're going to be looking at is the LPVO. All right, this one's by Firefield. The reflex sight is by Sightmark. They are the same company, two different name brands though, but they are both manufactured by the same company. This is a 1:6 power. It's got a nice throw lever on it. It also is illuminated. It does red and green, and it has varying brightness settings on it, so on and so forth. The glass is etched inside, so even if you don't turn on during like the daylight, the red or the green illumination, you can still get a decent sight picture down there with the etched glass. So the nice thing with that is if the batteries in this ever die, you can still use the LPVO. It will just not work as well at night. However, when it comes to the reflex sight, when its battery dies, that's it. There's nothing in there but a glass window. So that's when it's important to have backup iron sights on your firearm, because if the batteries die in this and you don't have any spares, which you should, then you're going to be in a world of hurt, especially if you need to illuminate your target or get that reticle up, so on and so forth. But like some people say, talk is cheap and ammo's expensive, so let's get to it. We're going to head down range and shoot them a little bit, and then we'll discuss the pros and the cons of each one and why you may want to buy one over the other, and we'll go from there. All right, let's go down range. All right, so we're down here. First up is going to be the reflex sight. For brightness settings, I dim mine down to where I can barely see it, and we're just going to do probably the easiest thing when it comes to drills or shooting is right around the 5 yard mark. We're just going to do a bill drill. I didn't bring a shot timer with me, so we're just going to pop 6 rounds off as fast as we can into the target accurately and see where we're going to hit. I am going to aim for the center mass, the X, and all right. All right, here we go. I'm going from a low ready. So there you go, 6 quick rounds. I cheated. Yes, I only loaded 6 rounds into the magazine because, you know, ammo is expensive and I'm not trying to just go buck wild with it. But as you can see, it might be a little hard for you guys, but all of my rounds are right in here. So if we had some sort of A zone to pick from, yes, those would all be in the A zone. Next up, let me go grab the LPVO and we'll go from there. All right, so now we got the LPVO. Now the biggest difference that I'm going to run into is, as an LPVO, and it's got an eye box. So I've adjusted everything to fit me. Some people may need to move their brace, or if you live in a normal state, their stock in and out to make sure that eye box is in a good position where when you bring it up, you're going to get good sight picture and all that. The throw is currently set to 1 magnification. It's not a true 1. It's more like a 1.2, 1.3. So there is going to be some discrepancy between what my right eye is seeing through the optic and my left eye. It's not a true 1 power, unlike the other one. It's a true 1 power because it's just a piece of glass with a reticle, so I concentrate on the target and superimpose that reticle on top of my target. Versus with this one, I can't keep, well, I can keep both eyes open, but sometimes that discrepancy between each eye tends to throw me personally off just a little bit. So, all right, let's get the mag. Again, 6 rounds in the mag. It's in. It is loaded. All right, here we go. LPVO. I've already marked what I hit with the reflex sight with little R's, so I can tell the difference. All right, and we'll take a closer look when we're done shooting. All right, here we go. Again, from the ready low. All right, so obviously with that, my spread got a little bit bigger, just because I do keep both eyes open. And this one has a longer barrel because it has been updated for the new brace ruling. So this one has a longer barrel. It's over 16 inches. That might be a little something to do with it. I don't know. The other one obviously has a different muzzle brake on it, so on and so forth. But we'll take a look at the target here in a little bit. So I figured I'd bring you guys up close. You can see here, there's R's, here's some L's over here and here. It took me a minute to find one of the LPVO marks. I only counted 5 holes, and I was like, there's no way I missed one. I finally found it. It's in the same hole as that one, since that one is bigger than the rest. So I put 2 rounds basically in the same hole. Now for me, I was aiming right around here for the offset, which should have put all the rounds right in here, which right there. I mean, it's not my best shooting, but they're all within 9. So good enough for me. I'm happy with it. So over here, which you may, let me turn you a little. You're going to see these right here. These are 3 little. I'm going to use the reflex sight and the LPVO, and I'm only going to take 1 shot at each one from the 25-yard mark. And we're going to see the accuracy. I put 3 on just because I had 3, so now we're going to take that 1 shot and compare with 1 power and no zoom versus being able to zoom in to 6 power. Now, the reflex sight has, I think it's like a 5 MOA dot overall. LPVO is a little bit bigger. I'd have to take a look, and I'll put it on the screen right around here, the actual MOA for that dot. All right, let's head back to the 25-yard mark and take the single shots, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we're right back here at the 25-yard mark. You can actually see a white line that's right there. That denotes, I think, the actual 25-yard line. So I'm back a little over, but it's not a big deal. Excuse me. It's actually later in the day because we had police departments down here training, qualifying, and all that stuff. And today they left about 3 o'clock, so by the time I set everything up, I could get down here later in the day. So we're trying to get through this. Okay. Here we go. Reflex sight, 25 yards. 1 shot. Little orange dots. All right. Here we go. I'm not going to do a ready up or anything like that. All right. So that one was a shot at the middle one. All right, so it's clear. Got one round. One round in this one. Now this one, that one I went for the middle orange dot. This one I'm going to use the bottom dot so we can see the difference. And I'm going to throw it all the way forward to 6. Right, here we go. All right, that was really bad. I'll try it again. All right. Took 2 shots, well, 3 shots. Let's run down there and take a look real quick. We'll do it live. Since the camera's mounted on a little tripod. All right. So, this one was the reflex sight. Hit right there. This one was LPVO. The first one hit down here, and that second one I took right there. All right, and we'll discuss why. Aiming here, 25 yards, hitting there. Obviously offset, they're both set for 50 yards, but I'll explain why the LPVO was a little bit harder. All right, so now we're back at 25 yards, and I'm gonna take this off. No one's shooting down here. All right. Reflex sight. The reason I found this one a little bit easier is when I'm holding it, for me, there wasn't as much movement. All right, that arc of movement where it's dancing around. I was able to get it right there, time it, and take the shot. Now, obviously, I'm standing, so I'm doing it offhand. If I really need to make that shot, make it really, really count, 25-yard line, I'm probably going to be kneeling, if not prone, or using some sort of support, whether it be a wall, a barrier, something to help steady the rifle, because obviously the further you are away, the more little movements here translate to a lot down range. All right. This one, the LPVO. So for me, zoomed all the way in, any little movements I make here, it's really big down there. Now, if I take this to a 1 power and I hold it up, it looks pretty steady, nice and flat. But once you're zoomed all the way in, you know, a little movement, it's going crazy all over the place. So that was the problem I was having. So why would we buy one over the other? Well, it really depends on what you're trying to do. If you're looking to build out a carbine that's mainly for CQC, CQB, depending on what you want to say, something like this with the reflex sight, maybe even a magnifier on it for those instances when you may have to take a longer shot. For the magnifier, this would obviously get moved forward and your magnifier would sit on the way back. The problem with the magnifier is sometimes you are not left with enough real estate for your iron sights. I really like having my iron sights there, so I keep the magnifier off. All right. That being said, this is really good for clearing buildings, if you're going to be using it for anything long distance, obviously you're going to want to get low, use support, things of that nature. I like it because it's great for quick acquisitions. It is a true one power. So as I'm looking through and moving around, or if I'm moving with this, I'm looking over it, and as soon as I want to take that shot, I pop it up. There is no change in what I see. It's a clear piece of glass. So I don't have that all of a sudden my brain's dealing with discrepancy between what my right eye versus what my left eye is seeing. All right, that's why I would pick that one. The LPVO. Why would I go with something like this? Yes, you could use it for close quarters. You could use it for if you build anything out for home defense. However, you have to understand the discrepancy between the right and the left eye. However, when you're looking for something that's better all around, depending on what you're trying to build, whether it's for something here at the range up to 100 yards or more, if you're looking for home defense, if you're trying to build out, I know the whole craze right now is like a recce rifle. A recce rifle is going to have an LPVO. It's a good one power, but then when you really need to zoom in and get a closer look at something, there you go. It's a 6-powered scope without extra added weight of having like the magnifier on that one. All right. The benefits of this, obviously, if the batteries die, which we discussed, then you can still utilize it. One of the cons with this one is obviously if the batteries die, you're stuck on your backup sights. As you can see on this one, there are backup sights. The problem though is the LPVO makes that rear sight absolutely useless. Now you have your front sight up here that we could deploy just like that, and then get it to lay down and lock into place. So yes, you have iron backup sights on this. However, like I said, the rear one is blocked by the back of the LPVO, which means in order to make these usable, we'd have to either move the LPVO forward, or this type of gun, I would then throw my backup irons on an offset at a 45. A lot of people, when they're setting up and they're having that LPVO, you may see either a small reflex sight sitting on top, or at a 45 throw right coming off here on an angle, they would have a small reflex sight. So when they're shooting, if they need to take that quick shot, all they do is cant the gun at a 45 and they're able to take that shot. Those are the ways to get around it, so you're not dealing with the difference in what your eyes see, or going from somewhat moderate distance, long distance, and then all of a sudden you're really close quarters where you're looking at targets within 10 yards or so. So like I said, these are the two best optics that we sell here. Both are currently available. The one we have for sale is not Coyote. Ours is black, but we do have Sightmark and the Firefield versions of this available. The Firefield is a step down from this one. It's still good. You've seen it before. I've reviewed it. I've used it on my DLD. It's just a step down for the battery it uses and its controls for brightness and the on-off switch, so on and so forth. All right. This, we sell this one just like this. It's a stock out of the box. The other optic that we had on here, which was an LPVO, was damaged because, well, this is a rental gun, so a lot of hands are on it, and we don't know if it got dropped or really banged up really bad, but we put a brand new one on here, so we have these in stock. We do have an upgraded version of this that comes with a small reflex sight that sits right on top. We also have other Sightmarks and Firefields in like digital, infrared, things like that. So if you're looking for a real nice upgrade in rifle optics, we got you covered. We got a little bit of everything that you may need. All right. So please, if you can, like, share, hit up the comments, Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And I will be chatting with you guys in the comments. All right, I'll see you guys later. Till the next video, I'm out. See you on the range. You know, I almost forgot. As I'm cleaning up here, you may have noticed there's a new hat. That's because Blue Trail Range has new merch on the shelves. We got brand new ball caps. Obviously, we still have our camo ones, but we also have them in gray and this blue. So if you're looking for a new hat, we got them, along with our shirts and our sweatshirts and everything else that we normally carry, all our apparel and our merch like that. So by all means, next time you're in the range, getting some range time, pick up one of our hats. They're actually really nice. All right, that's it for real this time, I promise. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.